Hey everybody, my name's Ed. Okay, so we're going to do another quick comic flip through. Okay, and this time it's going to be Astonishing Tales 15 from 1972, 20 cents, starring Ka-Zar, Lord of the Jungle. And, okay, and this copy is kind of funny just by coincidence. It just makes me think of like Guns N' Roses. From the from the jungle to the big back city. You've come a long way, baby. And you're never going back again. Do 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 do. They stalk the concrete jungle. Concrete jungle. Sneeze. Okay, so we've got an ad here for muscle building. This is not the infamous Charles Atlas ad yet, though. But the story here is, and who will call him Savage? Question mark. Credits here. Story Mike Friedrich. Pencils Gil Kane. Inking by Tom Sutton. Roy Thomas editor. Stanley presents. All right, 1972. Okay. All right, so basically, Ka-Zar gives a recap of the last couple of issues, and then how he gets to New York here, and now he sees people kind of living in squalor here. Okay, and he hears somebody getting beat up. Somebody's probably getting mugged, he thinks. So he runs over to help, and it turns out it's some drug dealers beating up a junkie because he doesn't have their money. So he beats them up. All right, and he tries to save the guy. But then the cops show up. And then the cops want to give Ka-Zar a hard time because he's got long hair. They call him Buster Crab. I'm not sure. I think Buster Crab might have been Tarzan in the old 30s movies, possibly. All right. Here, you can buy 14 records for like $3. Okay. Anyway, Ka-Zar shrugs off the police, and he meets up with Bobby Morse. Bobby Morse is a scientist. She was kind of the female lead in the comic, or in the Ka-Zar stories. A few years after this, they try to turn her into a superhero, and she's the Huntress, I think. But that never went anywhere. So a couple of years later, they remake her again, and she becomes Mockingbird. And that's the version that kind of takes off. Anyway, we're back at the hideout for where the drug dealers hang out, and it's this gym. Here's Mr. Big working out, showing everybody how tough he is. Okay, and then kind of beats up some of the henchmen, get them in line. And don't you ever forget that you work for the Pusher. All right. Meanwhile, Ka-Zar and Bobby are on their way to meet an old lady who was her mentor, an old lady scientist, and it looks like she's being taken away by the ambulance. And Ka-Zar recognizes this is one of the drug dealers. You're the poison seller who escaped Ka-Zar. And they kind of have a little skirmish here. And then Bobby is like, stop that. We need to get this lady to the hospital. All right. So they get to the hospital. Cops are there. And they're still giving him a whole hard time. He's like, look, I've got some of these drug dealers for you. But Ka-Zar is like, you know what? I'm going to do something about all this. So he grabs one of the drug dealers, does some acrobatics, takes him to the roof. And he tries to coerce some information out of him. And the guy's like, I'll talk. And Ka-Zar says, okay, so I'll let you go. But Ka-Zar figures that he's lying. So he's just going to follow the guy around. And we make it back to the gym, right? And of course, Ka-Zar busts in. We have a fight. And this time, Ka-Zar's shirt's getting all ripped. We have a manly fight here. Ba. We're all bare-chested, bare knuckles, and the fight's so intense that they're actually weakening the structure of the building, so the wall's coming down. So Ka-Zar, though, takes the one guy. He's going to save him from the collapsing building. Turns him into the cops. Then he goes back to the hospital where Bobby's at, and the doctor tells them, we need to find her relatives. And they're like, we need to find her son. Her son was Percy. And Percy's like this guy. Percy was the snitch. So that's the kind of plot twist. But it's going to lead into the next issue. All right. Okay, here we got some bullpen bulletins. And it looks like a lot of the material up here that they're advertising is kind of horror, supernatural, science fiction stuff. And I think somebody can probably correct me. Frankenstein is alive and well, coming to macabre Marvel. They probably just changed the Comics Code Authority. They kind of loosen up some of the restrictions. So, Marvel, so excuse me, was doing more science fiction, horror, other genres and stuff like that. Okay, and prizes for cash. Okay, and that's it. Here's the look who's smiling now guy. All right, great. Okay, so then that's it. I got to thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. And you have a great day. Thanks.